If you're leasing beats, right? We're talking about artists, producers, whether you're just getting started leasing beats, whether you're purchasing them, or if you're selling them. These are three common problems that many of you all face. This is something that has been arising to me as of late, but I've been knowing about it for the past 6 years, but I've been tweaking and developing my position on how I was going to say this. And today I'm finally bringing these three problems to you that you should be aware of if you're buying or selling leased beats. Coming up right here on the Music Money Makeover Show. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Music Money Makeover Show. My name is Casey Graham. I am going to hop right in this thing as per usual. Now, here's the deal. Artists want to make as much money possible as they can from leasing a beat. I get this. I totally understand. On the flip side, the producer wants to do the exact same thing. So everybody wants to get to invest the least amount in the beginning to have the most gain. There is a ratio in where you can make this happen. It's not going to be a high ratio, and your profit ratio isn't going to be that high due to what may be in your beat lease agreements for producers and for those who are purchasing the lease. But let's look at these three issues here. We got to talk about PRO registration. I'm going to go into detail about that. And the other that contains two is how we're receiving royalties from a specific streaming service. Now, I hate seeing new producers and new artists lose money in this category. I don't feel that it's fair. I feel like Beatstars is a great service if you want to do this. However, there is a lack of information when it comes to certain markets on how you receive money and how you actually can maximize the most profit out of your beat leases. These things have been said on my channel before, but not this one, okay? So let's address the PRO situation. I've said this on countless calls. At the PROs, you have a thing called an IPI number. It's not the account number, but it's the number that identifies you across all of the PROs across the world. It's the same number that the Mechanical Collection Societies in America recognize you as a publisher or as a writer from. The number one problem that I see where artists or producers lose money is at the PRO registration. And the reason why is, producers, this is your fault, because in the beat lease contract, you forget to list your IPI number, okay? If you do not put the IPI number, and I believe it's section 5 of the Beatstars contract or section 6, one of the two, if you don't put that IPI number in there, then people cannot properly register the song, or you may not see it come back to you. What ends up happening is you put your name, your full name, but you leave out one thing. This is our second problem, the middle name. There's no middle name, so we can't really justify who you are. Your name could be James Smalls, right? But there's a bunch of James Smalls. James Richard Smalls, James Edward Smalls. What's your name so we can find you? The next thing is the IPI number, because it could be two James Edward Smalls, and we don't know which account is which. On top of that, and here's one thing I didn't even make a note of, outside of you putting your IPI number down and your full government name down for you personally, you also forget to put in your publisher's IPI number with your publisher name. Because a lot of you all, when you're getting started out, you either sign up for a writer's account at ASCAP or a writer's account at BMI, and you don't do the publisher side because you don't know. It's not your fault that you don't know, but I'm telling you now, you leave that out. That publisher account at those PROs is the key to a lot of things that you're going to need down the road, especially where I'm going with this video. Now, without those in place, the artists who actually purchase the beat from you, if they have some type of team in place, they can't actually register the song the proper way. Case in point, I just did a registration the other day. We couldn't find the producer, or the producer wasn't responding to our emails. And I told the artist, I said, look, what we'll do is we'll just find the closest person that matches him, and then we'll just slap it in there. And I saw that this person was using Beatstars Publishing as their publisher, so I figured, okay, that must be them. Here's the thing that a lot of you all don't understand. Let's say you have Beatstars Publishing for some of the beats, but not all of them, and you didn't specify it in the contract. Neither did you tell the purchaser that, hey, for this beat, don't use Beatstars Publishing, or for this beat, make sure you use Beatstars Publishing. And if you use Beatstars Publishing on ASCAP or BMI, you don't even know that they're registered as two different people, right? It's the same as Songtrust. Songtrust is known as Songtrust Ave on ASCAP and Songtrust Boulevard on BMI, right? So all this information is missing. And the best thing that you can do is include your full government name with your middle name in the contract, along with the IPI number, and your publisher's account along with its IPI number, so that the person that is purchasing the beat can register this thing properly. Because me as a publisher, I'm like, I guess this is right. Hopefully Beatstars picks this up. Hopefully this artist sees this and they can do a work change request and change the work so it lines up the way it's supposed to be. So that is your number one source for losing money. The number one problem when it comes to leasing beats. Number two problem that I have seen surfacing over the last couple months, and I was not aware of until I started, talking to people about the market, is in the African market, the African markets, and the Caribbean markets. And I may go so far as to say South American markets as well, maybe Central America too. Put it this way, I'll put any market on the list that is not America where their top streaming service or primary source of listening is YouTube. What's happening here is the artist that is actually leasing this beat, and let's say a Jamaica, or let's say a Nigeria or a Ghana, everybody's really listening on YouTube. And if you lease the beat as an artist to put up on a streaming service to send to YouTube and make your money there, you will not make any money from YouTube. Why is that? Because in your beat lease agreement, the producer already stated, do not content ID the track. The track already comes content ID'd by the producer, so people won't steal, right? Totally fine on the producer's behalf. But the artist, on the flip side, loses the actual performance revenue for it, for YouTube now, for YouTube only, not everything else. They lose the performance revenue for YouTube, okay? They lose the mechanical revenue for YouTube. And of course, they were always gonna lose the master royalties for YouTube because the content ID is already on it. Now that's gonna happen in every market, America or any other emerging market for this music technology here, this music streaming technology. But specifically those markets where artists lease beats and their primary income source is YouTube, you won't be making any money from YouTube because the content ID is already there. So that's the next loss. So if you're doing Afro beats, reggaeton, anything like that, any one of these markets where these records are doing really, really well and the people are listening for free on youtube.com, not YouTube Music, that's totally different. YouTube Music is something totally different than youtube.com. If they're listening on youtube.com, then you as the artist will lose. However, you as the producer will win. Now, our next place right here, our next problem, our next issue is the mechanical royalties. And this has to tie in to the PRO stuff I just mentioned, okay? Without the IPI number, without the publisher's account, without the full government name in the contract, when the artist team registers the song at BMI or ASCAP or PRS or GMR or SOCAN or Jazz Rack or you name it, and they put the registration in, you as a producer should see it pop up on your end, and you as an artist, of course, you will see it on your end. Here's the thing. Now you have to go get the rest of the money because you are entitled to the mechanical royalties per the Beatstars beat leasing agreement. However, you must know how to get this royalty, okay? I always recommend my 60-day record label book for this. But hear me out. If you're going to get this collected, the registration has to be made at the PRO first. That's the only way that the mechanical royalty collection societies are going to see it in the first place. But there's a trick into getting them to approve your registration as a publisher, which you are de facto as a publisher by default. But they cannot approve it by one specific method, okay? And I go over that in the 60-day label. If you want to figure out how to get these mechanical royalties the right way and not go around the bush, beating around the bush, check out the 60-day label. And especially for those of you all who didn't get my email blast, the brand new 60-day record label executive edition is now out. It includes 90 pages worth of content on how to build a robust label from the start, from the very beginning to get your framework for the label together. I'm not talking about getting your marketing departments and your promotion guys and all that stuff. That stuff is coming. It's coming. But this is to get the framework down. It's going to help you get from zero to $50,000 to $100,000, right? This will help you get there with, collecting all the money. 90 pages, audiobook, EPUB version, PDF version. It's on the website, musicmoneymakeover.com. Go grab it. This one is really going to get down deep, nitty gritty. For those of you all who already purchased, you should have already gotten the coupon code in your inbox. If you didn't get one, email me. I'll check it and I'll send you the code. All right. But you all have work to do, because what we got to do is we got to 2 to 3x our income off of the beats. Most of you all in your beat lease agreements have caps of 500,000 streams to, I don't know, I think like 1 million is the highest I've seen. Some of you all have unlimited caps on the stream, which I don't think is cool. But let me run some numbers right here live for you. you're not gonna see my calculator. But if we're talking on our average rate, 500,000 streams, I'm looking at 500,000 streams in your beat lease agreement will get you $1,900 for the master royalties if you get those 500,000 streams. Now, if you lose some of those streams to YouTube, hey, that's just the game. But if you gain most of the stuff from Spotify, $1,900 isn't too bad. Here's the money you left on the table. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but out of those 500,000 streams, you left about, I think about $500, an additional $500 on the table. Yep. You left an additional $500 of publishing money. That's performance and mechanical royalties if you did not register this stuff properly. I'm all about money, man. And if you about money, I seriously suggest getting that book. I'm just saying, man, like if you really want to make money from your art, because the money is going to come from the art. If you make the money hard to flow back to you by blocking all the channels, then you cannot successfully grow as an artist to disperse your message to the masses, which is what we want to do in the first place. The reason why we need the money is to keep spewing our message out there. You get what I'm saying? If we don't have any money to fuel that process, then the message dies. Somebody else will pick it up, but the message coming from you dies. I don't want that to happen. Grab the 60-day label, because I want to take you from just some mediocre, some novice beginner artist who like just has some type of makeshift stuff going on to at least an intermediate level artist, record label, do-it-yourself operation, okay? So that we can make some cash flow and eventually quit your job. That's the whole point of this channel, and that's what we're doing, okay? So anyway, look, visit musicmoneymakeover.com, book a call on there. Remember, we're trying to get results here, so if you make music, you should make money. My name is Casey Graham, Music Money Makers. I'll see you next time. Peace.